channel. So I am off for a few days in the bush here. It's early December here in Newfoundland. Got my canvas tent and wood stove and just a pile of gear. I got a full load aboard the canoe here. So I'm gonna paddle down to the end of this lake, find a spot to set up a nice comfortable camp, get the tent and wood stove and everything set up, and we're gonna be spending the next few days out here just exploring. I got my shotgun, so we're gonna do some small game hunting, probably put out some rabbit snares, and just enjoy the next few days out in the bush here. Wait, Millie. Okay. All right, so last load of gear now from the canoe up to our camp where I'm gonna set the tent up. Beautiful day, man. We're finally getting some sunny days. We had a ton of rain in Newfoundland here the last few weeks. Didn't see the sun for something like 3 weeks, I think. What a beautiful day today. Well, the tent's pretty much set up now. These Esker tents are really easy to set up. It doesn't take long at all. So next order of business is get the wood stove put in here and it all set up, and pack my gear away. Then I have to cut firewood, and I don't know if I'll have time to do any hunting today or not, but we'll see. It gets dark around 4:30, so the days are pretty short now. Whew. Holy crap, boys, what a fright. Goose, back here. Goose, here. Goose, right here. Well, I was in setting up the wood stove. I heard a bunch of splashes in the water. I was like, geez, Goose must be gone all the way out to the lake and running in the water. And when I looked down through right here, there was a moose. Looked like a cow moose. Was running along the shore here, running through the water across this bog. Goose was way off up here somewhere, so I managed to get him back. Millie was staying with me as she normally does, but yeah, thankfully Goose was not down there and up here, because that moose was right below our camp here, and it must have been onto us because it was running that way. All right, guys, our camp is all set up now. I got a bunch of firewood cut. I may cut some more a little later before dark, but for now I'm gonna go for a little hike with the dogs here. I got the shotgun, so see if we can see a grouse or a rabbit maybe. And I was thinking down towards where I saw that moose run off, I got a trail camera down there, so I may hike over and check that trail camera, see if that moose has been walking by my camera. Grab some of this birch bark, help get the fire going when we get back. So that moose has been hanging around here, some fresh moose droppings. Real close to the tent, so hopefully we spooked him off and he'll leave our camp alone. Definitely don't want a big old moose wandering through camp in the middle of the night. There's a moose bed right here in the grass. I think my trail camera is right across here if I'm not mistaken. Been a few weeks now since I put it out there, so I can't remember exactly where it is, but hopefully I'll be able to find it here. A big old patch of moose fur right there, guys. Oh, there's my camera right here. Right here. Okay, so I got a feeling we're gonna have some kind of footage on here because it's a big patch of moose fur on the trail here, and the woods road is just up here, so I got a feeling that moose has walked by here at least once or twice. Well, that's disappointing. When I go to try and hit the replay button, it says no files exist. So man, I don't know what it is with this new view trail camera. This is my second one. The first one I had to throw in the garbage because it didn't work. So they sent me another one, and I mean, you guys just saw a big patch of moose fur like right there. So moose have been coming back and forth here. You can see the tracks in the mud, and this thing did not take any pictures or videos. And I had it turned on. The switch right here all the way to the right is on, which is where it was, and you can see it counting down, which it's supposed to do when you set it. And I did this last time when I put it out here. I had the switch all the way over to the right. That's where it was when I just opened it up. When I turn it back to the center and I hit replay, nothing, no files. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm pretty frustrated with this new view game camera. I think I'm gonna pull it out of the woods now. I don't know, I'll probably just bring it home, and I don't think I'll be using it anymore. Well, no sign of any grouse or rabbits yet, but dogs are getting a good run in, so I'll start making my way back to the tent. I'm up on this old woods road now, so this goes in quite a bit further, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow. So I plan on spending most of the day tomorrow out hunting. So I'm going to head on back to the camp and just get the fire going, just kind of relax for the rest of today. And then tomorrow we'll make our way all the way into the end of this road and just spend the day looking for rabbits, grouse, ducks, whatever we can find. Come on, Goose, let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Well, you don't see this every day. The moose bone stuck up in a tree. It's about 6 feet off the ground. 5.5, 6 feet off the ground. It's like a lag bone. Oh, what is it, Millie? Well, I think Millie's probably going to carry that back to camp. So I wanted to give the camera one more try, so I've set it up again, turned it on before I left to walk out to the woods road. So I walked past the camera on the way out, and then I walked right up to the camera on the way back. So I should have taken 2 videos of me in the last 10 minutes or so here. Nope, no files. So yeah, this thing is useless. What a piece of crap. So I just came down to make sure the canoe was secure for the night, and I set up one rabbit snare right here. Decent little path going through here by the looks of it, but I don't see any fresh sign all the same. Anyways, don't hurt to put out a snare and give it a try. Okay, I'm gonna light the fire. It's almost 4 o'clock, so it's gonna be getting dark here within the next hour or so. I'm gonna get this fire going and get a warm up. So I'm supposed to get down around minus 12 degrees Celsius tonight, so this is going to be one of the coldest nights we've had this year. Maybe the coldest actually. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but there's definitely a possibility that the pond out here could freeze over in the next couple of days while I'm out here, because we are supposed to get some pretty cold temperatures. So if that happens, I can still get my gear out of here. I can hike it out to the woods road that I was on earlier, but that road has a gate on it and you can't get in there by ATV or truck, so it's not going to be easy if I can't paddle out of here. It's going to be a huge pain in the ass to get all my gear out, but anyways, we'll worry about that when the time comes. If the pond does freeze over, hopefully it won't, and I'll be able to paddle back out of here in a few days, but I guess we'll see. Okay. Get some water boiling, get a coffee. So I've been craving a coffee all day, but I didn't want to light the stove too early because this would have burned way too much firewood. So I'm kind of trying to hang off on the coffee until it got almost dark. So I'm enjoying a nice hot cup of coffee now. Just relax in the tent. It's starting to warm up in here already. Doesn't take long once this stove starts to burn. Alright guys, well, it's time to get some food cooking here. So we've just been chilling out in the tent for the last couple hours. Man, it is hot in here now. Must be 30 degrees Celsius for sure. So for supper tonight, got some leftover chicken breasts here, shredded chicken breast. It's already cooked, so I'm gonna toss that in the pan, warm it up. And I got some tortillas here, so gonna have some chicken wraps, got some cheese and barbecue sauce to go on there. So simple, quick little meal here tonight, but I am hungry, so should be good. All right, let's get this cooking. Millie's passed out on my cot here, so I knew it wouldn't be long before she made her way up onto the cot. Millie, you can't stay there all night. You knows that, right? Goose is still outside there somewhere. I'm gonna have to get him in now. I don't want him wandering off too far, especially since I know there's a moose or two hanging around the area. I don't want him chasing after a moose in the dark. a big mess of this now. It literally took like less than 5 minutes. What do you smell, Millie? Not too shabby. Come on, good boy. Yeah, good boy. Lie down. Anyways, guys, thanks for following along so far. So, just gonna relax for the rest of the evening. Keep the wood stove going. May do a bit of reading. I'm gonna make up some rabbit snares as well for tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we're gonna be getting on the go early. Go walking that old woods road. Hopefully, come across some grouse, set a few rabbit snares, and just spend all day out hunting and exploring. So should be a good day tomorrow. See you in the morning. Morning, guys. So it's a beautiful morning out here. Not a draft wind, but it got really cold last night. Everything is just covered in ice and frost this morning. The lake out there is caught over with a little skim of ice. But yeah, it was nice and cozy inside the tent. I burned the stove all night long. It didn't go out at all, so managed to keep it burning all night. So stayed nice and toasty in the tent all night. But I did burn through pretty much all my firewood that I had cut, so I had just enough to last me through to this morning. So I think the first thing I'm going to do this morning is cut some more wood. That'll warm me up, and then I'll have all my wood cut for when I get back from hunting today. I won't have to mess around cutting any wood. I have everything ready to go, so I can just light the stove and relax for the evening when we get back later. So that's what I'm going to do. So I just finished up my breakfast and coffee. Just fed the dogs. Yeah, we'll just go look for some dry sticks around camp here. And when I get that chore taken care of, I'm going to pack up some gear in my small backpack, take the shotgun, and we're going to head off for the day and do some hunting. Alright, so I just bushwhacked my way out to this old road again. I decided to put the dogs on the leash because last couple of times I came in this road, we saw lots of grouse, but because the dogs were running up ahead, they kept spooking the grouse before I could get a shot at them. So I'm going to try another strategy here. I'm going to keep the dogs tied on while I'm on the road. Hopefully if there are any birds on the road, I'll be able to get a shot at them before. Oh, there's one. Just as I was saying it, we drove a grouse. Walked right up on top of it. Anyways, hopefully it pitched. Looked like it was going down just up around this turn here. So, goose, come on, out. Always a few grouse on this old road here, but where it's growing in, it's just so hard to see them before you spook them. Well, if we have another night like last night, the chance of me being able to paddle out of here with the canoe are pretty slim. This all froze over last night. Well, the hunting has been slow, to say the least. So, we saw that one grouse pretty much right away when we got on the woods road this morning, and nothing since. So, it's been real slow. I saw some geese fly over the tent this morning, and they were headed out to a little cove in salt water. So, I walked out there in hopes that we might be able to get a shot at those geese, but when I got out there, the little cove was frozen over, so I guess they wouldn't have been able to land there anyways. I haven't been filming much because the GoPro batteries suck in cold weather. I put a new battery in, it lasts literally like 30 seconds and then it shuts off again. Then I have to put a new battery in. They just don't last in the cold. So I haven't been filming much, but there really hasn't been much to see, honestly. Just been walking around, following the woods road, and then every now and then I'll veer off and go down through the bush and have a little walk through the woods, try to flush up a grouse or a rabbit or something, but just hasn't been anything since we saw that first grouse. Anyways, I'm going to continue working my way back towards camp now, and it's after lunch, so hopefully we'll see something on the way back, but if not, I'm going to head back to the tent and get the stove going, get a little warm up and some lunch, and take it from there. What do you think of it, Millie? Yeah, you might as well chase the stick, Goose, because there's no grouse to chase. Well, we're almost back to camp. We spooked up another grouse. Once again, it flew off before I was close enough to get a shot at it. Came over in this direction somewhere, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack now. Outsmarted by grouse once again, boys. So I dropped my pack. I spent a good 20 minutes at least looking around all these trees. Cannot find them. Oh well. Carry on down the trail, I guess. Whew, we're back. Well, that was a good hike if nothing else. I'm gonna go for about 4 hours or so. Anyways, gonna have a little break now, relax. Maybe get a fire going outside. It's a beautiful day, so I might cut some more wood, light a little fire outside here, and cook up some food and have a coffee. Good boy. Good boy. Alright, I got a few cod fillets here. Gonna throw these on the fire just in some foil wrap. A little bit of butter and some spices. Just let it roast on the hot coals. Oh yeah. Well, we got the fire absolutely rocking here now. Throwing off a ton of heat. So it's almost 4:30. We're going to start losing daylight pretty quickly here in the next half an hour or so. Still looks pretty light on the camera. But yeah, I was just thinking, you know, if I was ever in a survival situation, this is the type of spot that I would look to try and find to kind of ride out the night. Just look at all this dead wood here. And once you get a good fire going like I have going right now, all of this stuff will burn fine. So no need to try and actually cut any wood with the saw or anything. When you can get in a spot like this, all you have to do is just pick up these dead pieces, and you can kind of ride the night out just walking around. Even in the dead of winter, you'd be fine in a spot like this, just kind of walking around all night, picking up pieces of dead wood like this, tossing it on the fire. Millie's all settled away in the tent for the night, and I'm going to come in now too, get the wood stove going, get some food cooking, and just relax for the evening. Alright, just lit the wood stove, so better open up the damper all the way. Hopefully this will light without too much trouble. yeah, looking forward to getting my boots and stuff off now and hanging up all my gear to dry. That's the beauty about camping with the hot tent and the wood stove. After a long day outside, you can dry everything off and relax in a nice warm tent. So looking forward to that. Millie is here passed out. She's completely exhausted now. I think Goose is even getting pretty tired too. He almost stopped fetching the stick and laid down a couple times outside when I was sitting by the fire, but he didn't completely give into it. He's still out there going around somewhere now, but I'm going to get him in here shortly. Close up the tent so he has to relax and rest a little bit. I'm going to do that here in a minute. No need for him to be out there wandering around in the dark now. Anyways, I'm just going to get this fire rocking, kick back in the tent here and relax. Eventually I'm going to cook up some food. Not super hungry yet because I was kind of sitting by the fire snacking all afternoon. Had that codfish, that was really good. And a bunch of other snacks, some jerky and a couple of protein bars, a couple of cups of coffee. So yeah, it was a nice day, nice relaxing day. No grouse, no game to talk about, but it's all good. Well, it is morning once again, so just getting on to go now. Still dark out. I think it's around 6:30 or so. Just getting some coffee, so water is already boiled. It's a nice thing about this little shelf that comes with the wood stove. Actually, it didn't come with the stove. I bought this as like an extra accessory. But with this shelf, all I do is, before I go to bed, I fill up my pot full of water, lay it on this little side shelf, and the heat from the stove is enough that it doesn't boil the water, but it gets it really close to boiling. So then when I wake up in the morning, I just have to transfer the pot from the shelf over onto the top of the wood stove, and within like a minute or so the water is boiling and the coffee is ready to go. I kept the stove burning all night again. I really love this wood stove. I cycled through a couple of different stoves before I found one that really worked for me, but this one here is a perfect size, so I can get about 2.5 hours roughly out of, like, when I fill it up, about 2.5 hours before I have to wake up and stoke the stove again, which is, I think, about the best you're going to get out of a wood stove. I went through a couple of smaller stoves when I first started out with this tent, and man, it was just a constant all-night thing where you were waking up every hour or less sometimes to stoke the stove. But this one I can get a good almost 3 hours out of it, so you can actually get some decent sleep, and it stays nice and toasty warm in here all night long. So yeah, I'm gonna get some coffee now, and I was just out and grabbed my food barrel, so it got really cold again last night. So the plan for today is going to be, I have to check the ice conditions. As soon as it gets daylight here, I'm going to head down to the lake and check the ice conditions. Fingers crossed, it didn't freeze solid last night, so I'm hoping I'm still going to be able to paddle out of here today with all my gear, because I checked the forecast last night, and today is supposed to get even colder. So throughout the day today, the temperature is going to drop. It's calling for minus 13 degrees Celsius wind chill this afternoon, and then minus 20 Celsius wind chill overnight tonight. So if the lake is not already frozen over this morning, but tomorrow morning, there's just no way I'm going to be able to paddle out of here. I'd have to leave the canoe in here and hike my gear out to the road, and that's going to be a long day, a lot of time and energy. I'll have to make at least 3, maybe 4 trips in order to get all my gear out, and there's no trail. I'll have to bushwhack my way out to that woods road, and that woods road has a gate on it right out by the highway, so I can't even get my truck or an ATV in the road. So I'd have to bushwhack all my gear, 3 or 4 trips out to that woods road, and then carry it about 2 kilometers out the woods road to the main highway where I can get my truck in. So I'm really hoping I don't have to do that. Hopefully I can avoid that, and I can just pack up today and canoe, my stuff back out to my truck. But we won't know until it gets daylight now and I head down and check the ice conditions. Well, not what I was hoping to see. So the ice definitely got thicker overnight. I would say probably about doubled in thickness. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to bust through this in the canoe or not. It actually looks even thicker as you get out here a little further. So I guess I'm just going to have to put the canoe out in the water and try it when I get all my gear packed up later. And just see how it goes, see if I can get through it or not. Oh, Goosey, still chasing that old stick. Alright guys, so just got back at camp again. It's about noon right now, so we spent all morning blazing a trail from here straight out to the highway. So that's something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. That way, when the conditions are basically like we're going to have now for the next month or so, where I can't get here by canoe, but the ice is still not safe enough to walk on, I'll be able to hike in here directly from the highway. So I cut a trail, and it's only about now maybe a 20-25 minute walk from the highway right to this spot right here. I won't have to fool around bushwhacking my way down around that bog and stuff. I can basically go from the highway straight to here. It's a pretty good little trail that I got cut there. So I didn't bother to film any of that. But yeah, basically we just got back at camp. Started taking apart the wood stove. Gonna boil the kettle one more time on the fire here. And after lunch, I'll take the tent down, pack everything in the canoe, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to be able to paddle out of here. The pond is still frozen over. Got that skim of ice on top. All right, time to give this a try. Ready, Goose? All right, let's go. Okay, come on, let's go. Good girl, Millie. Pop up. Good boy. Well, it's going to be almost impossible to steer. The bow is just kind of following the ice wherever it wants to go. I'm going to be sticking real close to shore. Stay, Millie. Oh man, whose idea was this? Stay there. This is pretty dangerous what I'm doing here. Wouldn't be so bad if I didn't have the dogs, but shit. Oh man. Well guys, as you saw, that was an epic failure. So obviously I'm not getting out of here today with the canoe. So I just dragged all my gear back up to camp here, and I just got to regroup. So the dogs are good, I'm good. I went over my boots, so my feet are soaked, but the rest of my body is dry, so I should be fine. Especially once I get hiking now and get warmed up, get the blood pumping again. Should be fine. So there's a light snow falling now, but like I said, once I get moving, I think I'll warm up. I don't want to sit here like this for too long. Anyways, I'm just gonna have to carry all my gear out. I'm gonna use the trail that I broke this morning. So like I said earlier, I blazed the trail straight to the highway. So I'm just gonna start carrying gear. I'm gonna have to make at least 3, maybe 4 trips to get all this stuff out. The canoe is gonna have to live here for now. I'll either leave it here until spring, or I'll drag it out on the ice once the ice is safe to walk on. So I'm not too worried about the canoe. This is a pretty remote place. No one's gonna mess with the canoe here. So I'll just stash it in the woods, and like I said, I'm gonna just start lugging gear out to the highway. So I only have about 3 hours until darkness, I would think. So I don't know if I'll get it all done today. I may have to leave some of my gear here with the canoe until next weekend. But it is what it is, you know. I knew before I came out there was a potential that this could happen and the pond could freeze over. And that's exactly what happened. I probably should have bailed on the canoe as soon as I started and realized how thick the ice was, but I decided to push it. I thought maybe once I got a little further, the ice would be a little bit thicker, or maybe there'd be open water once I got up around this next point here. But it was actually the opposite. The further I went, the thicker the ice got. So anyways, like I said, it is what it is now. I just got to make the best of it, and yeah, pack up as much gear as I can on my back and start hiking for the road, and just make a bunch of trips back and forth until dark. And if I don't get it all done today, I'll have to come back and get the rest of my gear another time. All right guys, a little check-in here. So this is the 3rd and final load. So I got the canvas tent stuffed in this backpack. On the last trip out, I dumped all the contents of my backpack out in the truck, and just stuffed the canvas tent in the backpack to make it easier to carry. And this is the last load. So each trip has been taking me about 45 minutes, so not terrible. But I won't be sorry when I get out with this final load now. So I lost my hat on the last trip somewhere. Hopefully I'll find that on the way back. So yeah, it turned out to be a bit of a harder day than I had in mind, but that's the way it goes. I'll be glad to get back to the truck now and head home, get a rest. But thanks a lot for watching. It was a good trip. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Hope you guys are getting out there yourselves and getting on some adventures. Be safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Dogs are gonna sleep good tonight. Hey, Millie.